Welcome back. And next we have Helen Mack, our optimism coach here in the fourth in the series of optimizing outcomes. And she's talking to us today about maintaining an optimistic mindset. Helen.
Hi, Linda.
Welcome back. So tell us more about how we can do that.
So we've been talking about this whole idea of optimizing outcomes, and the mindset is one of the foundation pieces. But it's really great to get your clarity right first and then get into momentum. And then as you're maximizing your momentum, it's important to maintain an optimistic mindset. And the key here is about optimism as a power to help you achieve greater outcomes. So optimism, the baseline word comes from the Latin optimus, which means the search for the good or the search for the best possible. And your viewers may remember our conversation about best possible in the first session. So an optimistic mindset allows us to take a different approach. Generally speaking, when we're looking at the world, I think we've been taught the wrong spectrum. Most people have been taught about positive thinking. But what most people think is that we're supposed to somehow be happy all the time. Bad news, life's not like that. We have ups and downs, we have tough times, and even as a professional optimist, I have bad days. The difference is that if you're looking at the positive thinking solution, then when you have a bad day, the reaction tends to be, now look, don't panic, don't stay calm, it's all fine, and then you need to just kind of chill out and think nice thoughts and everything will be okay. When we come across obstacles, they need to be something that's part of the reality that we're ready to cope with. So we still have bad days. Even you and I, who focus on this a lot, have days where you go, oh, it's just really, really hard today. The next step is the reality check step. And the reality check is 3 pieces. If you and I were going on a trip and we wanted to make sure that we get there in the nicest possible way, there are 3 things we need to identify. Where are we now? Where are we going? And what's the best way to get there? The optimistic mindset is exactly the same thing. Where am I now? What's going on in my world? What is it that I want to achieve? Going back to our clarity conversations of earlier. And then where do I want to end up? Given that we know that there may be detours and adjustments along the way, what's the ultimate goal currently? And then what's the best method for me to get there, including thinking about my resources? Now, resources might be physical resources, but they also might be people or time or money or effort or energy, so a variety of resources. Where am I now? Where do I want to go? And what have I got on my team, on my side, to get me there? Having done that, we then do the what's possible, best possible conversation that we covered in the first session, so that we can identify the best possible way to take action on that goal. And built into that is this idea that along the way, if we keep making choices around optimism, choices around best possible, then that conscious choice opens things up for us. We're more likely to see and seize opportunities that come along versus being closed to, no, I'm just going to do this. An optimistic mindset is also about opening our eyes to everything that is around us and seeing how can we get the best possible outcome from all of those things.
I suppose into that comes appreciation. Would that be right? Appreciation for what you're taking note of that? Would that be a valid
very much so.
point?
So appreciation of the journey, appreciation of the steps that you've managed to take, appreciation of the people around you. Gratitude is a very big part of an optimist's mindset. So being grateful and, very importantly, expressing that gratitude. So one of the ways to maintain an optimistic mindset is to be grateful for where you are and to express gratitude for the people around you who helped you get there. Another element of the optimistic mindset is learn from every experience. We're going to have some good and some bad, and we can learn from both of them. So learn from every experience is another element of the principles of maintaining an optimistic mindset. I think one of the other things that sometimes happens is that people kind of beat themselves up if there's not a learning. That's okay. It can just be a thing that happened, and we can process it and say, okay, I'm just going to learn not to do that again. That's enough of a learning. We don't have to have some kind of great revelation after we've had a bad experience.
And Helen, how does maintaining the mindset actually help us to optimise opportunities in our lives?
Lovely question, Linda. The thing about opportunities is that our ability to respond to those opportunities is very much about where our mindset is. So if we go right back to the first session around not possible, if an opportunity comes across our path and we go, oh, that's not for me, or that's not possible, or I can't do that, then we get closed down to that opportunity. An optimistic mindset says, what part of this might work for me? Is there something in here that I could do for a learning opportunity, for someone else that I care about, for a cause that matters to me? So as a very quick example, when I moved to Trentham with my late husband, the local Great Trentham Spudfest was struggling. It was closed down. The people who were running it had kind of made it small. And an opportunity arose for me to become the big spud. I could have said, look, I'm just going to leave that to someone else. But I was new in the town, and I could see that this festival had great opportunities to bring everyone together. So it was an opportunity for me to practice my collaboration skills, to get more connected into the town. And over the next couple of years, I expanded the festival so that it's now a 4-precinct, whole of village, everyone involved, and a whole number of different ways to celebrate the potato, which is so critical to my hometown community. The optimistic mindset allowed me to keep asking, what's possible? What's the best possible outcome? Who should I bring in? So I used the clarity questions as well as the not possible, what's possible, best possible pieces of the optimistic approach to optimizing outcomes. Isn't that a lot of O's? And what it meant was that I had opportunities that I would never have had to connect in with my community and to make a difference to a whole bunch of people that I really like. So my recommendation to your viewers is, when you're faced with an opportunity that feels a bit big, just use that creating clarity step and then ask the what's possible question. What's possible for me? What's the best possible outcome? And then just take that tiny wee step forward.
Wonderful, wonderful. That first step's always sometimes the hardest and can be the
most
simplest.
Important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you. And we'll go to break now. And if you'd like more information on Helen Mack and maintaining an optimistic mindset, then please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. See you back next time with Helen on Taking Action. Welcome back, and today we have Sasha Priest, who's a psychologist and energy healer, and she's here today to talk to us about sleep difficulties. Welcome, Sasha.
Thank you for having me, Linda.
Please tell us more about sleep difficulties.
Yeah, so there's lots of different types of sleep difficulties. We've got people who can find it difficult to fall asleep. Other people can find it difficult waking early in the morning. And for others, it might be that they wake multiple times during the night. So lots of different types of sleep difficulties. I guess I'd recommend that people perhaps speak with their GP if they've got initial concerns. But there's also definitely some other options that people can be trying. So I guess today I was hoping to talk a little bit about some energy healing options for people to try if they're having sleep difficulties. So if you can understand that we're all made up of energy, our bodies are an energetic system. So energy healing is actually something that can shift energy within people to help de-stress their system and also to help them to hopefully fall off to sleep in a nice and relaxing, calm way. So that's another option, I guess, for people to be considering alongside some mainstream options that can help with sleep as well.
Can you tell me some examples of people who've benefited from energy healing?
Yeah, sure. So I guess I know people through energy healing that have achieved some really significant benefits. So one person that comes to mind was a 60-year-old man who had a 30-year history of not being able to sleep all the way through. So he was waking about 4 or 5 times a night. He had 3 energy healing sessions and is now actually able to sleep all the way through, except for waking up once to go to the bathroom, and he was really happy with that. And another lady who actually wasn't able to sleep for about 8 days straight. She had an energy healing session, just one, and actually achieved sleep all the way through for that one night. So You know, these kind of results are quite significant for people who've had long history of sleep-related issues and even short history. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And would you have some general tips for people on improving their sleep?
Yeah, definitely. So there's lots of things people can try, and I guess it's about finding the individual things that work for you. Having a really good sleep routine, so being able to wind down in the evenings, have a quiet space for people to actually go to bed. Reducing the screen time in the room is really important. Avoiding things like caffeine and alcohol, particularly in the latter part of the day.
Yes.
So alcohol can actually mean you might fall asleep okay, but you'll tend to wake around 2 o'clock in the morning. So interrupted sleep can happen if you're drinking alcohol, particularly in the evenings, and caffeine as well. So caffeine actually wakes your body up. So you want to actually reduce and calm your body. So caffeine is probably better in the mornings as well. And things like actually trying meditation. So different types of meditations work for different people. So meditations for sleep, there's also things like hypnosis for sleep. There is nature sounds that people can find helpful, and also things called sophageo frequencies, which actually help people to fall into a nice gentle sleep as well.
So, okay, is that sound thing?
Yeah,
sophageo?
sound.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And I guess the other thing for people who think a lot at night times, actually just having a small notepad next to your bed, so if you're waking and you've got things going around in your head, just jotting some things down on the notepad so that then you can actually address that in the morning and put it away and actually focus on getting back to sleep.
Oh, that's great. I've done that myself.
Yeah,
I've got that,
fantastic.
with a notepad next to the bed so you can get it out of the brain.
No, it's really
Oh.
helpful, I think. So.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful,
Yeah,
Sasha. Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
And for more information on improving your own sleep, please go to our website. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, and welcome back Nancy Beckhor, who's here to talk to us today about psychedelics and mind expansion. Welcome, Nancy.
Hello. Well, what's this big interest in psychedelics? World Health Organization has said in 2017 that psychedelic medicine is the greatest, most powerful new field of medicine because people are getting well from things they were never meant to be able to get well with. Now, to speak about this, we need to just go over what I spoke about last time about meditation. Meditation is to calm, make inner peace. It is especially to connect with the inner self, the knowing self, and ultimately leading to your sense of purpose and resolving conflicts that you may have, because guess who knows best about you is you. So as we move on to what I call advanced meditation, is kind of what psychedelics are, except that most of the population accesses that by swallowing plant medicine or plant of herbs, basically herbs. And why do they do it? So mind expansion gets us to answer questions like, why does someone get over a terminal illness and somebody doesn't? Why is somebody luckier than somebody else? My background is physics and chemistry, and I will say to you, there are so many unexplained mysteries in the world. Where does the new technology come from? Where does great art come from? It's said that we only use 3% of our brain power. So people are wanting to access this. But, ingesting herbs is not for everybody.
So, yeah, that's interesting. What about I've noticed in nature there are these unexplained things scientists don't have any explanation for, like water disappearing into nowhere.
Yes, I find it a very exciting time. Physics is almost being turned on its head. They actually say that the physics of consciousness, which is where mind expansion goes, are different laws. And that's where you can get mysterious things happening. You follow coincidences. The kind of coincidences that can occur to a person who's tuned in, high-level meditation, the kind of things that can happen blow your mind, but you don't hear about it on the news. People don't know what to do with these extraordinary happenings. And so Nothing is said about it, but the time has come for us to make use of all of our powers. So I'd like to tell you there is a much easier way, which is light technology, which I had spoken about in regards to meditation. But light technology is a much simpler event where you go have a 30-minute session and then you leave fully functional, and you begin to integrate what you experienced of maybe the colours, the patterns, and again the mind steps aside and we get genius. This is from whence genius comes. Let's stop doing the same things the same way all the time. So people have travelled everywhere around the world. People are travelling, I mean, soon there's going to be shuttles out in space. But what about the cosmic inner world, the great uncharted territory? It's extremely exciting because it will affect your actual life.
Well, thank you, Nancy. And for more information on Nancy and psychedelics and light technology and meditation, then please go to our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. Welcome back. And next we have Kim Townsend, who's a lifestyle coach. Welcome, Kim.
Hi, Linda.
Now, you are here to talk to us about finding calm within chaos.
Exactly. So I suppose everybody's really familiar with chaos, either the external chaos or the internal chaos. And I find it's really important to know how to find the calm for your health and for just finding solutions. So imagine an emergency situation where ambulance were required. If they didn't know how to be calm, their lives would be lost, and solutions wouldn't be found. So finding calm within internally and externally is really important. I suppose what I find is that so many people are living today in a place of stress, and stress is it's a silent epidemic. It's an addiction, and it's slowly killing us. I mean, there's the stress of what you're doing right now, but what the body does over time, it creates all those chronic illnesses and is really debilitating. So it's really important to find calm.
And what would you say are some tips for actually finding calm within chaos?
So there's quite a few things, but the easiest thing is to learn how to use your breath. I mean, you hear people say, just calm down, take 10 deep breaths. It's not an old wives' tale, it is a fact of living. So you find the calm in the breath, just deep breath in, deep breath out, and you'll find it's calming. So that's the simple, straight up solution to finding calm right at that moment. But for a bigger picture of calm and having calm throughout your life, there's things like what I call the SOS, simplifying, organising and systemising things. There's also what I call connectication, which is about learning how to communicate, to have connection so you can create your support team. And that helps you to find the calm because you learn to express things and release any of the tension that is within yourself.
So I guess that incorporates you have loads of other tips, don't you? You have loads of other simple things people can do to simplify. Yeah,
so there's understanding what the triggers are, what does set you off, and learning to either eliminate those triggers or to minimise them or figure out how to approach them. As soon as you feel that anxiety or that discomfort inside, do the deep breaths rather than waiting for it to explode. So finding a bit of time between a situation and instead of reacting, learning how to respond. So you're doing it mindfully and and consciously.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, though I guess that other thing is the breath work and the finding that relaxation and simple things like that about that. Can people just incorporate that in their daily lives easily?
Meditation is really good. A lot of people sort of see meditation as a monk in a cave and sage and candles or a hippie out in the paddock. But meditation can be incorporated into your daily lives in so many different ways. Just be walking down the street instead of worrying about, oh, I left something at home and the house is a mess, or I'm going to the busy office. Just breathe calmly and just focus on being present, being there in the moment, just enjoying the walk. So that is the simplest form of meditation. It doesn't have to be something you set aside for half an hour. You can do it anytime, anywhere. In the shower.
Oh, that's just
it's
fantastic.
really simple.
Yeah. Thank you, Kim, for sharing that. And for more information on Kim or finding calm within your own chaos, then please go to our website. And for now, we'll say bye-bye until next week from us all here at Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle.